So this is what I depicted. So that's my question that I'm going to answer. If I was talking to clients who was coming to the workshop, Paint Your Truth Self-Care painting, I would be asking, the clients, what did they paint? So I will be answering what I painted, and which I just answered, the depiction of the Self-Care Oracle deck. How am I going to implement this into my life as self-care? It's the fact that self-care is life. I feel like self-care for me is life, but also everybody's searching for some type of meaning, some type of a stability, work-life balance. Especially since the pandemic, a lot of people have reanalyzed their lives and reanalyzed what is this thing called life? What is this thing called work? What are the things that really matter to me? Because in the grand scheme of things, a lot of things that I thought mattered may slip out of my fingers, or things I thought that mattered were concrete. I find out that no, it isn't concrete. It doesn't have as much bearing as it used to. So with this depiction of self-care, I implement it every day. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I said that whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour out your day, find a way, shape, or form to implement self-care, because it's so important, especially since we live in a fast-moving society. Everybody's on that pick up and go. Everybody's on that hustle. Everybody's on we gotta get it and hustle. You need to take time out to give back to yourself, to listen to what your body needs, what your mental health is saying, and how you can implement it into your life. So it's just telling me to keep balance, especially if you're like me, you have anxiety and also depression, especially seasonal depression. It's important to listen to what you need and not be embarrassed about saying I need time out, I need a break, I need to create space, I need boundaries, I need to get back into myself, I need to get into my meditation. Because when you're able to balance yourself out, then you're able to balance out the exterior. If you're not good and feel surrounded and secure, not surrounded, but secure within yourself, then how can you be secure within other relationships or other people, places, and things and commitments that you have to them? So with the chakra points, it was just reminding me to take things slow and just go with the flow, because ultimately everything will work out for the highest of my abundance. Oh my goodness, I just realized that I did not even sage nothing. Ooh, I didn't even clarify anything. And because I remember it, I'm going to do it. So I know it's literally the end, but now that I remember it, I'm going to have to do it because it's a me thing. I'm a Taurus, but nonetheless, yes, it's about being focused. And that's what I wanted to meditate. With number 44 representing sex, to me, that's not the way I interpret the card. I interpret it as getting into your cardinal, being very vulnerable, especially since I've been researching on my free time hierarchies. How did the system of things become the system of things? And it started off from feudalism and the downfall of that, and then the downfall of Roman society, and then people going back into the old time ages, very much feudalism, knights, kings, lords, priests, and all of that, and how that filtered into modern society. And what I realized that a lot of modern society is able to exist because there's a lot of repression of our true authentic self. A lot of us are neurotic, a lot of us are anxious, a lot of us are depressed because we are repressing our true selves, whatever that means. And to be vulnerable, to be your true authentic self is scary because there's a lot of societal backlash, as well as repercussions for standing in your authenticity, even if it's true to yourself. And that's what causes the mental illness. That's what causes these negative feelings and so on and so forth. So with number 44, the way I interpret it, it was more so getting back to self. 44 reduced gives you 8. 8 is very personal, especially when we're talking about numerology. 8 is the personal. It's personal improvement, personal experiences. It's also talking about having faith and having the ability to continue with passion, continue with courage. And it's a brave thing to speak your truth. It's a brave thing to stand in your truth. And it's a brave thing to break down illusions, confusions, and disillusions. And with number 44 representing sex, it's like, come back to your true nature, come back to your true self, come back to your true identity. When you are free, when you are carefree, when you stand in your truth, when you're unapologetic, when you say what's on your mind, when you go out for what best suits you, and not being afraid of that, not being afraid of what people are going to say. What if they mistake it? What if there's repercussions? It's just like a newborn baby. You come into the world, you're free of sins, free of like societal constructs, but you're also free because you have no clothes. And it reminds me very much of hunter-gatherer society, where because everybody's free and everybody's equal, everybody's happy, because as much as you put in is what you get out, and you know that everybody's putting the same amount of energy in to get the same amount of energy out. Because if one person or a group of people within the tribe doesn't put as much work as everybody else, not only is that unequal and it causes shifts and grifts and like contention within the tribe, but also progress doesn't happen for anybody in the tribe. So it's about keeping yourself in check when you're able to allow people to thrive and be themselves. I feel like a lot of people are so judgmental and they're so much of a critic, and they have such hard lines on things that have nothing to do with their lives, have nothing to do with what's going on in their homes or what's going on with their families, but they're so fixated on trying to control other people, manipulate people, constrain other people, because that's how they feel about themselves and their own lives. If we were all free, we would all be equal. And if we were all free and equal, we can see each other and love each other as brother and sister, because we love ourselves first and foremost. When you're able to love yourself boldly, authentically, unapologetically, accept all of you, then you can accept other people even if they are the polar opposite of you, because you understand you loving you and them loving themselves equates to lack of contention, because you're not focused on what the other person's doing or not doing. You're focused on yourself, if that makes sense. It's kind of like once you build up your self-esteem and break all your traumas, you don't go back to the same like narcissist or abuser or like emotionally unavailable person, because that's something you're no longer attracted to. If you were to stand in your authenticity, whatever that means, then you wouldn't be so worried about what the next person's doing and their home and their business and their this, that, and the third, because you'd be too consumed with your own happiness and liberation. So there's that. So that is ultimately what I depicted. Did I leave anything out? Because I feel like I might have left something out. This is what I depicted. Oh, how did I feel about the painting process? Like I said, it was very relaxing. It took me a very long time to complete this, and it's really because I was taking my slow time. I was just in the vibes. I was in the mood. I'm listening between YouTube videos, podcasts, and news, like what's going on politically and whatnot, and I'm listening to music and I'm painting. Like, it's just a vibe. And I didn't really think about like, I need to complete it by this time, especially since my storage maxed out 2 to 3 times. So there's parts of the video when I edit this, you'll see like it jumps frames. It's because storage. Long story short, it was storage. But I was able to, fix it and get back into painting. It really soothes me, because the type of person that I am, I get anxious and I can ruminate on things. And when I'm distracted doing something that's productive, not only is it benefiting my self-care and my mental health, but also I'm not consumed with whatever that I'm stressed about or whatever I'm thinking about. So it's like a clarity of mind as well as a way of me expressing my creativity. So that's how I felt about the process. So this is a final depiction. Remove the paint palette.